Hi, this is session 6 of our ongoing The Between game. Let's call it a game. And with me today is not the full crew. It's only Casey, hi. And it's me, Dominic, he, him, of course. Casey, he, him, and Gwen, she, her. And I think the best thing to do before we do anything else is to go through a quick recap of last time, because it's been 2 weeks in real time, and I at least have forgotten everything. And I will start, and then we can just read around the table. Maybe 2 paragraphs each. Let's start. Last episode was session 5, A Society of Small Men. The session began with the investigators piecing together the mystery of William's nest. After examining the clues, the magical sigils and threes discovered on William's former rooftop lair, the bodies found at Woolwich Arsenal, Dr. Van Helsing's notes on hunting vampires, and the enchanted padlock from the library, they reached a chilling conclusion. William had not been hiding in some distant corner of London, but rather beneath their very feet, in the ancient catacombs below Hargrave House. The vampire had been living in the restricted section of the library, accessed through a secret passage all along. As the investigators contemplated this revelation, each experienced vivid dreams of primordial Earth. Hecate dreamed of a time when everything was one, her body all-encompassing, before light arrived and water washed over them. They saw their daughter walking between permeable boundaries and a descendant on an island turning men into swine. Dr. Swindrake witnessed the birth of Earth from above, watching continents rise and fall until 9 shadowy figures beckoned a human form from the primordial muck. She realized with horror that the body was Charlotte's, and she herself had become one of the godlike figures. Mr. Pike dreamed of a dark ocean, with the sun rising for the first time, its rays bathing the earth as reflections transformed from folk symbols to his own face, and then to the sun itself, bearing a face. Meanwhile, Hecate engaged in a vulnerable conversation with the man in the sun mask at a private gentleman's club. During their discussion, the mysterious figure let slip crucial information about Sally No-Face, describing her as having undeniable talent for capturing beauty from those who maybe not necessarily needed that much. He explained that Sally was obsessed with capturing beauty in the form of removed faces used as masks. This revelation added another layer of mystery to the mystery of the faceless bodies discovered throughout London. Gwen, would you be so kind and read on until you don't feel it anymore, I guess?
Okay. Back at Hargrave House, Mr. Pike used his knowledge of the estate to locate a valuable weapon, a sword cane that had once belonged to Dr. Van Helsing. He presented it to Dr. Swindrake, knowing they would soon need every advantage against... Thank you. The two shared an intimate moment before the confrontation, with Pike lighting a cigar and revealing his troubled state. He confessed that seeing the bodies strewn about William's lair had brought back memories he'd tried to forget. Similar sights from the war. His hand shook as he lifted the cigar, though it steadied when he pulled away. Dr. Swindrake, moved by his vulnerability, told him she would prefer to see the dawn together, and asked him to take care. As night fell, the investigators prepared to confront William, but their plans were complicated by the arrival of Constable Lansing at Hargrave House. The Bobby had come to question Dr. Swindrake about the Whitechapel murder, frustrated that she had not appeared at the precinct as requested. Mr. Pike, seeing an opportunity to gain a police ally, led the constable downstairs towards the study of the library. Dr. Swindrake was furious at this decision, her face going cold as she saw the officer behind Pike. She walked casually across the hall, closing the door to her laboratory, where illicit body parts were strewn about, then closing the sitting room where Fanny was resting. Fanny, the sex worker that had been she had been with. Her eyes grew wider with each door she shut, silently communicating her rage at Pike for bringing a police officer into their home at such a critical moment. I'll read one more. As Dr. Swindrake attempted to maintain composure and dismiss the constable with sharp words about disrupting her delicate experiments, a rat fell from the rafters of the laboratory. All three looked up to see William sitting on a beam, smiling down at them with terrible recognition. Mr. Pike immediately stepped forward, opening his arms and goading the vampire to attack him instead of the others. He declared that he seemed to be the one William had an issue with and attempted to draw the creature's attention.
William smiled at Pike's bravery, but dismissed him as merely a tool. The ancient vampire jumped down from the rafters and, in an almost casual gesture, reached out and lifted Constable. Without even looking at the officer, William broke his neck, a sickening cry, letting the body fall. He explained that he wasn't about to reveal them to the authorities. He wasn't a monster. Then he turned to Pike and challenged him, saying, "If you want to dance, despite being only a meter and 20 meters tall."
Casey, you
Dr.
are cutting
Swindrake.
out.
Okay.
It's like the onset of your sentences is good, and then it becomes more silent.
Do you
Like
have
something
like
is counteracting you.
Do you have the reduce background noise option turned on Discord? I know that sometimes it acts up when you're not using like a mic directly in front of you. Like,
Interesting. I don't know where that setting would be.
if you go down to the little microphone and there is a voice settings button next to the little, if you do the little down caret. And I think if you look at input profile, there will be voice isolation, studio, custom. Voice isolation is the thing that tries to cut out the background noise. At least that's what it is on a laptop or desktop. On the phone, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know why they make
I think
things
it's
harder.
even different in the web app.
Yeah, probably. Sorry.
I think I found this. I think I found the setting that you were referring to. So I turned it off, and we'll see if that
cool.
helps.
Oh yeah, it sounds much better immediately.
It does actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a nightmare.
Well, I mean, it's because I think you're not like on a mic. It has trouble knowing whether it's your voice or background noise. Sorry.
That totally tracks. No. I'm happy someone said something. Like it was happening somewhere else, like not Discord as well, and I did something that fixed it there. So I was hoping it had fixed it everywhere.
Okay. Back to the text.
Yes. Dr. Swindrake, seeing the danger, reached into her medical case and pulled out the Necronomicon, an ancient tome bound in human skin and covered with strange sigils. She opened it to a marked page containing a ritual that Dr. Van Helsing had once used to incapacitate vampires. As William prepared to attack, threatening to set fire to research, Swindrake began to chant the ancient ritual. The power of the spell, amplified by the Necronon itself, surged through the room and successfully prevented William from carrying out his threat, bringing the confrontation to a dramatic
the cutting out is back again. Maybe I'll do the next thing while you try to see if you can do anything about that. Elsewhere in London, Hecate Latimer arrived at the exclusive underground club beneath Catherine's in Belgravia. Dressed in an emerald green velvet suit with ruby red trousers and a pearlescent shirt, carrying a jewel-bedecked walking cane, Hecate descended the winding staircase after presenting the required coin. The party was already in full swing. Legendary affair hosted by Miss Isadora Breathwaite. A string quartet played furiously, their faces wrapped in bandages, while women gossiped quietly behind their fans. Mannequins dressed in extravagant, is how you pronounce it in English, right? Extravagant gowns stood throughout the space, some with human faces attached by safety pins, making the room appear far more crowded than it actually was. The air was thick with an accord of expensive foreign perfume, exotic spices and rich red wine, undercut by the disturbing counterpoint of advanced organic decay. Hecate observed the key figures present at the gathering. The men in the sun mask held court with several attendees, regaling them with stories while some listeners clapped using the arms of mannequins to amplify their appreciation. The dapper boy, dressed in the livery of a maitre d' with a painted pencil moustache, ordered the waiting staff about with veiled threats to their families. Isadora Breathwaite, dressed in a blue dress with a large blue choker, conversed with a woman in a white, wearing a featureless wooden mask and a leather apron beneath her jacket. Gwen, would you like to take us to the finish line? I was about to say, but still quite a while. Sorry. Maybe I'll do one more. Hecate sent the dapper boy to fetch a drink and was surprised when the young servant presented a small wooden box as a gift. Inside was a perfect preserved woman's finger, with no smell or signs of rot, appearing almost marble-like, but definitely fresh. The dapper boy explained it was a relic from his other mistress's workshop, Sally No Face, and that it had been in her possession for at least 2 or 3 months before he received it. Hecate accepted the curious gift with bemusement, secreting it away in an inside pocket. Approaching Isadora and Sally No Face, Hecate engaged them in conversation about beauty and art. Isadora introduced the two, noting that they had quite something in common. a certain disdain for the society of small men they were forced to live in. Sally No-Face, speaking from behind a featureless mask, acknowledged that the mannequins with human faces were her contribution to the event. Though, she clarified, it was more a joy than actual work. She hinted that her real work concerned itself with eternal life to the most beautiful of creatures, piquing Hecate's interest. Isadora then invited Hecate for a more private meeting over rum and cigars in a less formal setting, expressing her dislike for the polite facade of the most savage place she'd ever lived in. And Gwen, would you like to take it from here, please?
Yes. Hecate, growing annoyed with the raucousness of the man in the sun mask's storytelling, made their way over to his group. The mysterious figure was telling a tale about the founding of London by the cult of Mok, describing how they had settled by the river more by accident than design. He ended his story by pointing out the filth of King's Cross, Limehouse, and Whitechapel, questioning how the English had the nerve to call other people uncivilized when they lived in such squalor. The polite society listeners laughed, not realizing they themselves were being mocked. Hecate recognized a reference to a feature of London from 100 years ago that only someone of their age. Among the listeners was a woman with a remarkably youthful, wrinkle-free, wax-like face that contrasted sharply with the older skin visible on her neck and hands. Hecate turned to her and remarked upon her youthful skin, comparing it to a newborn piglet, before reaching out to stroke the side of her face without permission. The touch revealed a faded surgery scar. When the woman tried to cup Hecate's hand with her own, Hecate pushed her away sharply, declaring, "I did not give you permission to do that." The woman, Dame Margaret Teasdale, immediately prostrated herself before Hecate, begging forgiveness and addressing them as "Your Radiance." Hecate, invoking the theme of the evening's cult gathering, suggested they have a demonstration of the actual nature of some of At Hecate's command, Dame Margaret began crawling on all fours in front of everyone, making grunting noises like a pig, much to the delight of the other attendees. She continued this debasement for as long as Hecate desired, a powerful display of influence and control. Should I do one more?
Do you want to take another step, Casey?
Sure.
That sounds much better. You have a mic now?
No, I switched to my partner's headphones.
Ah.
Sorry, where were we?
Elsewhere in London, a fashionable salon had been
There we
transformed.
go. Okay. Yes, had been transformed into a ritual space dedicated to Mok, the pagan swine god. A long wooden trough filled with rotten food sat in the center of the room, buzzing with flies and reeking of decay. All the furniture had been modified with cloven hoof legs styled after a pig. Paintings on the wall depicted half-pig, half-human creatures among pastoral scenes visible only upon closer inspection. Most tellingly, all the doors had been removed from the salon, symbolizing the absence of separation between spaces, no distinction between toilet and salon, kitchen and salon, or even toilet and kitchen. The cult's ritual proceeded in 3 stages of sacrifice. First came the sacrifice of riches, where offerings of the utmost purity were presented, the blood of a healthy human, absolutely fresh, unspoiled milk, and the lilies, all expensive and pristine. Then came the sacrifice of status, where finely dressed men in well-tailored clothes stripped naked and left their expensive garments strewn about. Their servants overturned the table with the trough spilling rotten vegetables, fruit, and table scraps all over the discarded finery. The men then crawled on all fours through the filth, debasing themselves before their god. Finally came the sacrifice of blood, the most horrifying of all. The naked, writhing cult members, covered in rotten food from the trough, continued to revel in the filth. Some had been eating from the spilled contents, and when a cloaked figure with a moon-shaped mask made a gesture encompassing them all, these individuals began to transform. Their noses and mouths elongated into snouts, and they started making genuine grunting noises as they morphed into pig-like forms. The moon-faced figure muttered "long pig indeed" before producing a very old-looking dagger and proceeded to slice the throats of the transformed cultists, offering their blood as the final sacrifice to Mok.
The night wore on. Both at Hargrave House and at the secret clubs, the investigators found themselves deeper than ever in the dark mysteries of London. Dr. Swindrake's spell had halted William's immediate threat, but the confrontation was far from over. Hecate had gained valuable information about Sally No-Face and her work with preserved beauty, while also demonstrating their own considerable power over London's elite. The cult of Mock had revealed itself as a force of ancient pagan worship still thriving in the heart of Victorian society. The stage was set for the final confrontation with William, even as new mysteries about Sally No Face continued to unfold. Yes, and that is where we start. Dr. Swindrake, you rolled something very impressive last time. I forgot what, but I remember that it was a 12 plus, and that I said that as the added bonus, so it probably was a night move then, I will give you that you get to describe how the two of you defeat William. So the stage is yours.
And by defeat, that could extend to destroy.
Absolutely.
Or no. Okay. So are we still in the hallway beneath Hargrave House with William trapped in a ritual circle, or has William fled and we must pursue and destroy?
It is yours to describe. You rolled a 12 plus. You have total freedom.
Okay. So I think that allow me some leeway here. So
absolutely.
The ritual paralyzes William. He is frozen in place, right? And it's clear, you can see his eyes are able to move and they're darting around with the desperation, and he's straining as hard as he can, but his body simply does not move. He is like a statue. And the ritual circle, their sigils appear in a circle around William's feet, and they kind of are blazing light with like an infernal fire. And there's this kind of like tense moment where this is occurring of silence, and then Dr. Swindrake's kind of cold laugh cuts through the air, and she turns and opens the door to her lab and walks in and returns with a large surgical saw. And she looks at him and at William and says, "This should be a very interesting experience. I wonder, William, how many rings do you have? How old are you anyway? Let's find out." And she begins we don't have any lines against this sort of thing, I don't think. Let me double check, because this is pretty gruesome. I'm being here. Make sure. Class, religion, no. Sexual assault.
I don't mind gruesome.
I mean, it's torture, so I won't say that. I will say that because I guess vivisection could count as torture. So I will say
no. That's like that's my line for the fucking Guantanamo Bay shit. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. Okay, no. She is literally just going to take his head off.
You meant torture is not torture if it's not done to get information?
Yeah.
If it's just pure sadism, then it's not torture.
Fair. So I mean, honestly, she does just intend to kill him in a very definitive way, but it's, what's she going to do? Stick a stake in him? No, she's going to remove his head, and she uses the nearest tool to do so.
Absolutely.
Assuming, of course, because she had read in the good Dr. Van Helsing's journal the night before, or earlier that night, I suppose, that was the most certain way to kill an elder vampire. So,
and let me remind you that the good Mr. Pike scrounged up that dagger specifically for killing William.
Excellent, even better. So perhaps instead of getting the surgical saw, she scrambles around in her possessions and produces this dagger and approaches William and just studies him like a test subject or a specimen taken from the wild, as if he were a dead corpse floating in formaldehyde, in her lab, and kind of prods him here and there with the ritual dagger, and slides it along the neck, finding just exactly the right spot, and then looks at William and says, "You should not have come into my space, William." And just inserts it, twists it with the skill of a master surgeon or perhaps butcher in the head. And then just a final jab to cut through the sinew of and cartilage and bone of the spine, and cleanly removing the head ritual dagger as it falls off. And seems once it falls off the body and it bounces and rolls out of the ritual circle, it seems to be freed from the freezing, and the mouth opens and tries to yell or speak, but there are no lungs pushing air, so it just kind of mouths helplessly at us. And the body slowly begins to melt into a combination of blood and ash, and cool in the circle, and when it hits the rings, it sizzles and burns with a foul smoke until it has filled the circle and the edges are sizzling away at the sigils. And the head sits there watching this happen. And you can see the eyes moving for a good 30 seconds to a minute until finally they go gray and stare off at the ceiling, and then it too melts in mixture of ash and blood.
Very nice.
So, good show, Mr. Pike, for producing that item. I'm not sure I could have accomplished that without it.
And with that, you have finished the Limehouse Lurker. Good on you. And
well, I
you
don't
get
think you will become a resident.
you get a little bit of a reward as a group. You can pick, maybe, I don't know, if you want to just pick something now and then confirm it with Xena once they're back, or if you just want to wait for Xena to come back to make the choice.
Can you remember who Jenny Johnston is?
Jenny Johnston is the proprietor of the opium den that gave you the task in the first place.
Oh, interesting.
And since it's a binary choice anyway between Jenny Johnston or the man in the sun mask, you could just choose one and then check in with Xena once they're back. And they probably will be okay with them, as I know them, with your choice, I mean. And if not, then, well, there's only one other choice.
Right. Okay. That works for me. And then everyone gets a memento.
Ooh.
So let me guide that for a moment. Would you prefer Jenny Johnston or the man in the sun mask to become a resident of Hargrave House?
Do you have an opinion, Casey?
I mean, I feel like the more interesting choice is the man in the sun mask.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And more important for Hecate's character, too. That's a character that's been kind of a recurring character. I didn't even remember who Jenny Johnston was at first. So
yeah.
The man in the sun mask. I think that also has...
I hoped you would say that.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know. This is my first run through the Between, but my understanding is that is a recurring sort of character or something. So I'm interested in that.
It's worse than that. It's better than that. He's been a recurring character anyway, but now he lives at Hargrave House, and you can ask him whenever you have questions about other worlds.
Yeah, I mean, he gives King in Yellow vibes. Yeah, I love it.
Mm-hmm. So as it says, right, you get one extra clue on the information move when you seek his counsel about other worlds.
Which I didn't know that would be something that we do, but now I'm curious.
Well, sooner or later. And let me just say that is the moment where the salon as a room becomes important. I think I have to recheck if residents still trigger the day or night move. As normal side characters do. I don't know that off the top of my head. But if they do, then that can be mitigated with the salon. And now, Mr. Pike. Let's start with Dr. Swindrake. I guess we should do it in a circle. So, no, that doesn't work when Xena's not here. Dr. Swindrake, what is the memento? Oh no, exactly. You ask another hunter. So what is the memento that Mr. Pike keeps from this investigation?
Tell me how you think Dr. Swindrake could hand back the ritual dagger to Mr. Pike. Dr. Swindrake, after all, has the sword cane. But perhaps the ritual dagger would be more apropos since it was so useful, and it was Mr. Pike who used it. Thank you.
I think the sword cane is the thing that Mr. Pike produced.
Oh, where did the ritual dagger come from?
I don't know.
Oh, did we just say dagger instead of?
I think that might have happened.
Oh, yeah. I was confused. Okay, I was like, I don't remember that. Okay, well, I could give you that.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
Yeah. So here you go. You have the sword cane now, and I absolutely am imagining Mr. Pike with a dapper hat and cane, and he produces the sword and goes to town, a la the Robert Downey Jr. version of Sherlock Holmes thing, who was actually quite good at hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. After all, it's self-serving because it's like, now you can protect me better. Here you go.
Yes.
And I'm going to go ahead, since I'm already there, and put it in your personal quarters as Van Helsing's sword cane. It's not just any old sword cane.
Very nice.
Hell yeah.
And what do you give in return? And then when Xena's back, one of you needs to give Xena something else.
Sure.
Or rather, she asks one of you. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
They.
I kind of want to. I mean, man, it's. I would like to give you a body part off of this cop, but that won't like benefit your mother move, right? So it seems a bit like extra gruesome to like do that just for a personal quarters item. So
Could put it in a jar of formaldehyde. Alternatively, yeah, I've got ideas too, but I'm happy to. I can make a proposal if you are stuck.
yeah, I mean, I don't really have another. Yeah, what are you thinking? What's on your mind?
So I hadn't used the Necronomicon, but we discussed and consulted in the fiction last session that I consulted Van Helsing's journals. So that'd be the
Oh, yeah,
edit.
yeah, yeah. From the library, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. I had kind of forgotten that we were in the library.
So that might
Yeah,
be something she could use as a personal quarters item later.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure that
yeah,
Van Helsing wrote on all kinds of matters occult and strange.
Hmm?
absolutely. Yeah, I like that for sure. Yeah, yeah,
Another
yeah.
big old book. Nice.
Yes.
What did I just do? Okay, I will put it in a quarters. That's even better. That's why I think you were typing in it at the same time.
Yeah,
I was like, why
I,
is
I
Google being
apologize.
weird? No, I like yours better. Yours has the Latin, so that's fancy.
Yeah, it's probably wrong.
I mean, it
I
looks like
only
it
had
might
Latin
say
for half
love
a semester.
vampires. I
It's
don't
more
think I'm
more
sure.
it's
Yeah,
more Lovecraft Latin.
yeah, fair, de vampiri. But the IIS at the end is a way of pluralizing a genitive. So, as in of the somethings, plural, of
Mhm.
vampires. Yeah, so
Yeah.
bravo.
I think with that we can finish the night phase and go on to the dawn phase where we collect rewards if a threat was resolved, which it was. All of you. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in for Hecate. Did I also put it in for Pike? I don't know why. Then I might just go ahead and do it for Dr. Swindrake as well. Um, and now we answer the dawn questions, Mr. Pike. That looks good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you did answer a question, apparently, and you did resolve a threat, decisively so. Did you experience an echo in the night, and do you remember what it was?
I marked it, which means it must have been there. Oh, yes, it was connecting the fine clothing in the unseen of the like mock worshippers with William's fine clothing.
Ah, very good, very good. And did you demonstrate obsequious behavior toward your employer in front of others?
I tried, so yes, I'm gonna mark.
Okay, very good. You did not have a scene showing your secret private life in London, unfortunately.
Nope, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, that's 4 XP for you. And oh yeah, it's already some good soul added the 6th experience checkpoint. Because in the new edition there's you need 6 and not 5 as in the old one. So yeah. That fills your XP track and you can select a advance. Do you already have an idea or do you want to stew over that a bit?
I'm one of those. I'm one of those like save the advance for when you need the move kind of people.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But I was curious. This has come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure that I am correct. If there are discrepancies between the PDF that you shared and the character keeper, the PDF is correct.
Absolutely, because that is the current
Okay.
edition.
Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my eye on a couple of moves. And like I say, we'll see when it becomes dramatically appropriate, maybe.
Okay. Then make sure to note it down somewhere so you don't forget.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, this character keeper doesn't seem to have a spot for that, for unused advantages.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I won't forget. I'll remember.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Swindrake, you also answered the question. You also resolved the threat. And did you experience an echo in the night? Yes, you did. And I even remember what it was. Do you?
I don't. Was it like the smell of decay, or what was it?
No, it was the opening or closing of doors.
Oh yes, that's right. It was because that was a thing where she would walk around and yeah.
Yeah.
That was right,
Did
that
you
was
put your hands in a pile of guts and love every moment of it? Apparently not.
Not really, unless you count what I did at the end to William, which is a little bit different.
It's your decision.
Sure. I mean, we only have a session or two left. Might as well.
That is
I've
not true.
actually.
We have so many sessions left.
Why do I keep thinking? Oh, it's only that Zine is only gone for two sessions. Is that what I keep
Yes,
thinking
yes.
of?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay, good. Good. We're doing a full run. Good. I
Yes.
apologize. It's fine. I can't wait. Let's see. All right. So, well, why not? Sure. So, what did I choose? This surely isn't the first time I've leveled up. So, what am I? I must have raised something before.
And there is still
Interesting.
one question left. That is, did you secretly engage in romantic or emotional behavior at odds with your aloof logical exterior?
Yes. I had a rendezvous with the sex worker, but I also had an intimate moment with Pike talking about our
Oh,
feelings,
oh yeah.
right? So, which
Hmm.
is unusual for her. She does not normally admit that she has any
Any
care
feelings?
about Pike's concern about his well-being. She's like, look, I want us to make it this together. So
Hmm.
anyway, and yeah, like I said, I'm surprised I have not. How did I not get an advancement yet?
This is my first advancement as well, so
Oh, is
Yeah,
I
it?
yeah.
wouldn't
Okay.
be surprised if
Okay.
it was.
That's
But
because
Maybe we've only done it. Yeah.
it's because we don't give out XP at the end of the session, but in every dawn phase. And so far we have played 5 sessions and spent about 1 session per day or night phase. So it checks out.
Oh, okay, that does. So this is only our second dawn phase, basically.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that does make sense. Okay, cool. All right. Well,
Well,
then
technically it's our third one, I think. But yeah.
okay. Well, super. Then I will unmark all my little questions and
Mhm.
probably choose a new move. Do I want a field medicine? Nah. Beneath the skin is fun. Yes, yes, yes.
Just to point
Resurrection.
out, the infirmary is different now. It's an extra room that you can unlock during the Hargrave House night phase. And if you
Okay.
don't select the infirmary, you guys can't select it. So that's the only way you can bring it into play as a selectable room for the Hargrave House night phase.
And the
Infirmary.
advantage of it is what happens when you go in there. Is it what it says here in the text? Is this accurate in the keeper?
It is, yeah, it is the same thing that you are better at healing physical stuff while in the infirmary. But
So,
but
yeah.
you don't get it automatically anymore. But now it just unlocks the infirmary in the pool of rooms that you can unlock during the Hargrave House night phase.
Okay. So in other words, if I choose that, I don't get the infirmary. It just gets added to the option of unlockables.
Yeah, but you can choose for the infirmary as your next Hargrave House night phase room, and then you have it.
Right. Okay.
But if you don't choose it, it's just not there. It's not just on the
Gotcha.
cards.
I mean, I'm actually thinking the Resurrectionists just because
They're fun.
I like the idea of somebody going. I want the child to be built, and at the rate I'm going, I only have 2 body parts. Right? And it's like because my
right,
night work ability is useful, but it because it replaces my night move, which I think is actually too high a cost in my opinion from a design perspective.
Sorry, what replaces your night?
Doesn't night work be a move that I can't if I choose it, I can't it replaces my
Yes,
night
no,
the night
yes and no. The Hargrave House, it's not an individual decision on your part whether or not you do the Hargrave House or the London Night Phase. It's a decision for the entire group. And when you, as a group, decide for the Hargrave House phase, that is the thing that we did last time, where you unlock a room, where you unlock the library, and you get on top of unlocking the library or whatever room you want to unlock. You also get these effects on top.
it's not instead of the Hargrave House move. It's
It's
in addition.
it's an add-on to the Hargrave House night phase.
Okay, I thought it was instead of, so I wouldn't get to unlock a room or go into the library.
No.
I can do both. Okay,
Yes,
that's
yes.
much better.
The only
I
thing is
apologize.
that you can't do a London night phase and do night work. Like you can't
Because
go
you
out and
can't
kill vampires and do night work.
you can't do a Hargrave House night phase and a London night phase. That's why. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
right.
And if I have the Resurrectionists, I just get that during each dawn phase.
Let me
That
just
they might.
read out how they are in the book. In case it's different from the PDF from the
Right.
keeper. In the book,
Mhm.
it says a gang of grave robbers led by a man called Harley White, dingy workman's clothes, cracked teeth, smells of grave dirt, is loyal to you. Each dusk phase, pick 2. It's the
So
same
far,
so far,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
The grave robbers will dig up corpses that night during the dawn phase, acquire a body part for the child. Or the grave robbers will search for other valuables at night. During the dawn phase, ask another hunter what they found and add it to your personal quarters. Or a grave robber, either Harley or another, will accompany you during the upcoming night phase. You take the following condition: ghoulish. Any roles associated with actions the grave robber is helping you are taken with advantage. Oh, that's cool. And 4, you'll face no blowback or complications from any criminal activities the grave robbers get up to that night.
That's amazing.
That's fun.
Yeah, that is. I love the options there, and so many of them are so flavorful. So yeah, I'll go with the Resurrectionist for sure.
And then it falsely says dawn there. It's a dusk move.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's funny.
Which makes sense. Of course, that's a dawn move.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yay.
And with that, we are done with that part of the dawn phase. Now we mark new elective dawn questions or leave them, depending on what you plan to do during the day and the following night.
And just I like the ones I've got chosen. That's okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
To leave them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to leave mine too.
Okay. Then now we resolve any playbook or special moves that are resolved during the dawn phase, such as the employer, right? No, not the employer. Day work.
I think that's a dusk.
Oh yeah, move. You're right. You're right. Yeah. Yep.
And the night move last night when William came, even though we were at Hargrave House, that counted as a London phase, right?
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Dawn. The important thing about Hargrave House night phases is that there is no dealing with any threats during Hargrave House night phase.
Right.
The counter just ticks up. There's no danger for you, but also no progress, and you just get a new room.
Which is cool, and maybe I'll take Infirmary next time, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Beneath the Skin's food, though.
With that, we are in the day phase. And the Keeper presents a new threat if there are less than 3 active threats, which is the case, because you just solved one.
Nice.
And the new threat to be presented is the St. James's Street Ghost. A back issue of the Illustrated Police News, a tabloid notorious for carrying salacious, blood-curdling tales of dubious provenance, has a story about a young maid, Ginny Hess, who was found dead, apparently from shock, in her employer's St. James's Street townhouse some months ago. The story claims the townhouse is haunted and that it was almost certainly the appearance of a ghost that caused the young maid to die of fright. After a cursory inquiry, you learn the precise address of the haunting, 18 St. James's Street, and the name of the family that lives there, the Beals. Oh, it's 18th. Wait a second. For some reason I thought it was 7 St. James Street. Let me just quickly change that up there. That it makes a difference. Just to have my eyes dotted at my T's. Okay. Okay, sorry. 18 St. James's Street, and the name of the family that lives there, the Beals. Direct the following to a hunter of your choice, and the hunter of my choice here is Mr. Pike, because if you look at the map, you will see that down up there in the top left corner, you will see that St. James Street is not any old address. It is on the other side of Buckingham Palace from you. It is you are the new money in Belgravia. This part of West End is the old money. So that is the best address in town. And it just so happens that in St. James Street, there's also the best hat shop, the best hatter that has been there for 400 years. And I'm sure Mr. Pike is intimately familiar with that. And also like top level cigar stores and all kinds of things that gentlemen, even employed gentlemen, are at least aware of. So I'll ask you, most tales of hauntings I ask you as somebody who has been there. And of course, I won't say that Dr. Swindrake can't have been there as well, smoking cigars and playing cards. But most tales of hauntings are complete nonsense, especially those carried by the Illustrated Police News. But Hargrave House has some experience with ghosts, and a particular detail in this story confirms that this is a legitimate haunting. What is it?
It reports almost like incidentally to the incident, the presence of the smell of burning hair, which is an indication of a ghost. Oh.
That's cool. Let me just put in another sticky note. Maybe not orange for NPCs and not blue for clues. Let's make it red for no, I don't want one sticky. I want the whole stack of stickies. How do I do that? Ugh, old man. Stack. That's how I do it. And the sticky stack is interesting information. And that is, what did you say? It smells of burnt hair?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like where can you smell it? That smell of burnt hair in front of the house or
In the house, I think.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, yeah. It hits you crossing the threshold.
Oh, hits you as you cross the threshold. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a little detail that is also in the report. Very cool. Okay. And this is a relatively straightforward mystery in that there is only one question, and that solves the thing. And that is, how can we get this ghost to pass on to the next world, which is a complexity 6 mystery. And the opportunity that it unlocks is to resolve the threat by performing a quieting ritual. Starting on the third night phase, after the threat is introduced, a location in the house collapses or is otherwise destroyed. The house collapses completely if 5 night phases pass without resolving the threat, untethering the ghost so it can freely roam the city. Just so you know. And with that, what would you like to do today? Maybe we can quickly, I keep talking, but before I finally leave the stage to you, we can have a little look on our state of our mysteries. We have 4 clues for our mastermind, which, to remind you, is how does the mastermind intend to destroy the crown, is the question. And the clues you have unlocked so far are the Limehouse Lurker wears expensive foreign clothing. And why was that related to the... it was because from Barbuda, that was the important bit. You found sweet wrappers made in Barbuda in the dead man's stomach. Mix Latimer had a formal invitation to an event at the Underground Club where Theodora Brathwaite was on the guest list. And we found out that she has a specific interest in Mix Latimer, and particular talking about his, not his specifically, but let's keep it at that. We have the St. James's Street Ghost, and we have Sally No Face, which has passed 2 night phases. And so far you found 3 clues: a pool of half coagulated blood in a subterranean place, a body without a face in Eleanor's laboratory, that was brought about by William. Sally is obsessed with capturing beauty in the form of removed masks, faces used as masks. And just to go back to the other clue with the body, what was important about that is that it was just not reported in the media. It was just like one more victim, kind of pointing towards the possibility, if not fact, that there might be more victims to Sally No Face than is currently known. And there is this woman's finger that is perfectly preserved as if it's still attached to a live body that Mix Latimer found or was gifted. And with Sally, you have 3 options. They become more difficult the more, ethically challenging they are. The dumb and quick move is just killing her. Or you could try to find out why she does what she does and how she chooses her victims. Or you could really try to find out who she is on a personal level and why she does what she does in terms of understanding what drove her to the madness and then empathizing with her and bringing her in peacefully, which of course does not necessarily spare her whatever fate she has in the English justice system. The Night Belongs to the Horde is our third mystery. That is 1 night phase in, where you can either just go the simple route of destroying the nest of the Horde, or you can try and understand the leader of the Horde's motivations and nature. And that is where you stand. And with that all said, again, Dr. Swindrake, what do you want to do today?
Well, let me a question. So, I mean, the Limehouse Lurker is resolved, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that one's finished. And then there's the mastermind issues we don't really know much about yet. Sally No Face. And then there's this ghost. And is there anything? I'm just looking through the threats page here.
Are you in the keeper?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Should I look at Miro then instead?
Yeah, I keep neglecting the keeper.
Okay. I just wanted to
Because
make
it's
sure I
like
wasn't missing anything.
double bookkeeping, and I'm tracking the mysteries on the Miro.
Miro is more interesting. So, all right. So we have. I don't know. I think she would be much more interested in Sally No Face. Mostly, I mean, assuming that Mix Latimer shares what they learn, right? If I can
Absolutely.
assume that the clues that they gathered are kind of shared, then
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, because of course Eleanor or Dr. Swindrake would want to know, like, how is Sally No Face preserving them in flesh? That's relevant to my interests, shall we say? Because I want the child to look fresh, you know. So yes, I would say that I would want to follow up on some of those victims,
Hmm.
perhaps.
Hmm.
And I would like to, I don't know about empathizing with the killer or not, but certainly capturing or bringing them in peacefully sounds interesting just because Eleanor would like to have a face to no face, so to speak, kind of combo and sit
Okay.
down here.
Hmm. And
So
Mr.
that's
Pike, what are
yeah.
you doing?
Yeah, good question. I think I would like to, yeah. Um, there's a side character who is a tailor in the Sally No Face mystery, I think.
Hmm.
Um, I would like to go and talk with that tailor. I'm in full transparency. I'm aiming to get my question. Did you have a scene showing your secret private life in London off?
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
By maybe perhaps having a vulnerable move with that side character. So,
Oh, great. That sounds like a very well formulated plan. Let's start there. Um,
can I bring up one thing quick?
yeah.
Which I okay. Last time we played, before we confronted William, we had a vulnerable scene with Pike and Eleanor, but we didn't create a clue out of that scene. I don't
Oh,
think.
true.
We
So I
did,
was
you're right.
wondering if that's something we would like to do.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea to do that.
Um,
As dawn
my
breaks
pitch,
and you're standing in the like slippery with blood laboratory, the
yeah, I was
policeman in
wondering.
the corner like a rag doll.
Yeah. Because we have the I forgot what the night belongs to the horde
Mhm.
mystery going on, and Dominic mentioned William like knocking a rat out of the rafters, which was like the thing that made us look up. I was wondering if
Mhm.
maybe we could tie the clue to that rat somehow.
Love it.
Good idea. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps when Pike, when when Dr. Swindrake is overseeing Mr. Pike cleaning up the mess that has been caused, she takes a moment to examine the rat and that Mr. Pike delivers to her and discovers strange markings on it, for example, that suggest, I don't know, almost like ritualized pack behavior or something that has never been that she's not seen in just standard London rats, as if they were doing something to distinguish themselves. The rats were from other typical London rats. Like they
Mm.
would bite one corner of their ear off or something in a very like, intentional way, or like a scar across the face, snout or something.
Mhm. I can see two ways it could be going because, like, obviously, from one red you can't uh,
Oh, right, you can't
es-
tell
es-
pattern.
establish a pattern. So either that one red could have something very, very weird, um, like I don't know, like bite marks in a circle around its neck, like
Mm.
if they try to bite off its head,
Mhm.
or you start with that red and then during the following day, like see more reds in London who also have that particular thing, and then establish a pattern that way.
Like, like we're
Which
coming
one?
out that dawn and we see several rats on the in the gutter across, and they all have that notch in one ear, and they look up at us, and then they all run into the down into the
Hmm.
sewer as if they had been observing the house.
Hmm. Okay, then straight bite marks on the dead red. No, that's not the clue anymore. The clue is a
Matching notched ear.
particular notch bitten out of several rats' ears, right?
Yes.
Um, dash almost in a ritualistic fashion.
That work for you, Casey?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
That's great. I like it.
For the horde, that's what they're saying.
Okay. Yes. So that tailor, Casey, do you think that tailor is in Belgravia or is it over in St. James Street?
Oh, good question. I think it tells us in the side character section that he's in Belgravia.
Does it?
Did I make that up? I only read it once, I think. But
No, it says he is one of the most popular tailors among the Belgravia set.
Okay, cool.
Like
cool.
along the new money, which of course doesn't mean that he has to have a shop there.
No, I like the idea then that it's across in
Which of course organically brings you into the vicinity of the ghost. I like that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So I see Mr. Pike like entering the shop from the street, and then like standing like right inside the door and doing that like surveying the shop thing, and then locking the door behind him when he notices that there's nobody there.
Okay.
And then like proceeds into the like wherever, or proceeds to Mr. Clemenza. And I think it's like pretty unspoken that like they just like walk into the back, and like Mr. Clemenza starts like measuring and like doing like the scene. I think is taking place during like a measuring / like suit fitting sort of situation.
Yes, and he's like measuring your inner leg and your circumference, and is making small talk. He's just, I don't think he will start talking about the rats, and also not about say no face, that is entirely too gruesome. So he will start talking about the goings on in the neighborhood, and he will tell you. No, I think also he's too much of a gentleman to gossip. So he will just ask
That's
you.
okay. Yeah.
No, he will just ask you directly. So, Mr. Pike, how has business been at Pike and Sons?
Yeah, and Pike.
I imagine that he still knows you from way back when.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And Pike like draws out a cigar and lights it. Clemenza, it's hard times for us who try to keep the business going.
Oh, yes.
Oh
yes.
Not quite as grand as it was once upon a time. I remember the first time I came here to get fitted for your clothing. I remember what Father told me, that it's best to look the part of what people expect you and not what you necessarily are.
Yes. But then at the same time, people don't want to invest in quality clothing anymore the way they used to.
Indeed. It seems we have less occasion for the finer things these days. And then like you can see he's still, he's wearing, obviously, like he's way underdressed for the shop that he's in, right?
Yeah.
And he sort of like looks at himself and but we all must pay our dues. We all must live our lives.
Yes. Oh, don't we? And yeah, I think he, again, like with the propriety of a gentleman and a tailor, as he is measuring the like your neck for the cuff, he is looking like pointedly past the big nasty scratch that you have there from your fight with William. He's not mentioning the shiner that you have from the other fight with William, and also the like slowly healing cut in your brow from the fight with the goons on the street. And it's just saying, yeah, it becomes more difficult and more difficult to even protect oneself as one is walking through the fog of London, huh? People are getting restless, and if I may say so, so are the animals. Have you noticed all these rats scurrying around? The other day, I tell you, I saw one uh, with a meat pie in its paws, walking across the street in broad daylight, as if nothing could touch it. And let me tell you, nothing did touch it.
Yeah. All these new money upstarts, they've always encroached where they didn't belong.
Yes. You wanted to do a vulnerable move? Was that it?
Yeah. I just
Mhm.
wanted to like throw out
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
details about his past and kind of
Absolutely.
So mission accomplished for me for sure.
Okay. Then that also triggers the day move.
Yeah.
And also here as a group we define a clue. So it's not a clue from my list that I'm giving out. And then maybe as a parting gift in terms of like non-clue information, in a fitting break, because you can't just be fitting all day. You're leaning against the like maybe standing in the door frame, having sharing a cigar and a coffee, um, and looking out into the autumn, into the sun of the autumn morning, and it's gotten colder overnight. And as you come back to the topic of new money pouring in, like he's showing, like pointing down the street, and it's like, yeah, it used to be that there were these gentlemen's clubs here. Now there is a quite rowdy bar down on Piccadilly that is being very, very, like, bringing its raucous into our street until late in the evening, and he points at the old sorry, Mhm. The old, no, not the Beale House. You know it from it under a different name, and I'm just looking if I can see quickly what the name of the families that lived there before the Beales. Can't find it quickly. Anyway, but I know that it's somewhere here. Sorry,
That's okay.
getting hung up on the least important bit, as is my way. Anyway, the Beale House. It's not you know it under a different name, on the name of the family that used to live there before the Beales moved in, and it has been standing empty for a while, like a good few years. And he's like pointing at it and says, "Hey, wouldn't you believe it? That old house is being somebody moved in there, and well, the gentleman that moved in here hasn't been making the rounds yet, hasn't been making his acquaintance, which I find odd. So yeah, the neighborhood is going to the dogs, or to the rats, I should say. It's almost as if, I don't know. I don't mean to gossip. We should go back in and continue our work. What is the clue that you want to get from there? Again, by making it a vulnerable move, you kind of made it you kind of grabbed the narrative power here.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like catching sight of some of his other work. Maybe something like something that's monogrammed.
I have something nice for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I may.
Yeah. What's up?
The monogram that you find is would there be a V in there? Yeah, it so you find as you know, maybe he's leaving the room at some point, and you are standing there sipping your coffee, and you're letting your eye wander over the place, and there are a few mannequins, let's say maybe 2 or 3, that have a very particular piece of clothing on them, and that piece of clothing is a white. It almost looks like a surgeon's gown, but in fashionable. Like it's like halfway between a fashion statement and practical work clothes. And it has a monogram, and I am not entirely sure what the first letter is. It has three letters. The second and the third are V and C, and I think I'll go with E for the first letter, EVC.
Awesome.
And that is a clue for Sally No Face. And I'll just quickly write it down. And we've overshot the break time by 20 minutes. So how about we have a little break and then we see what Dr. Swindrake is doing.
Sounds good.
That's good.
10 minutes?
Back. 10? Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
See you then. That was a lovely scene. I like that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a thing that I really like about this thing with these questions that you can select for yourself and then pursue.
Yeah, I definitely like probably err on the side of it'll just come up whenever, because I'm not like chasing the XP, right? It's like the impulse in Apocalypse Keys, like if it happens, it happens, like whatever. But I'm realizing it might be beneficial to sort of like,
chase the XP.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's not just like cheesing the system, it's also the system gives you a clear excuse, let's say, to like spotlight this part of your character, which normally wouldn't happen. Like you wouldn't, I guess, probably not like get the idea of just randomly have a chat with the tailor just to show your domestic side, so to speak, or your private side.
Right.
And this way you have like a mechanic that points you in that direction.
For sure.
Which I find very good. Dr. Swindrake, I see you still chewing. Do you need a minute more? Or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay. You wanted to check up on the other victims, and that sounds to me like you would like to check up on them in a mortuary. Is that right?
Yes, we're talking about Clara Yarborough, Edward Clive, and Dolly Merriweather, all the victims of Sally No Face that we know of.
Yes, they're probably all in the same place.
Convenient.
Convenient indeed. In the mortuary. Yes, it is a brightly lit room in the bowels of the Whitechapel police precinct. Although at that time, was that already so closely connected? I would think not. Actually, it's probably more connected to a hospital. That would make more sense to me. So let's go with that, and I'll let fly past the opportunity to get you to the police where I wanted you all along. No, it's in the basement of a hospital, where there is that clean room, clean to the standards of the mid to late 19th century. It is brightly lit, and the smell of chemicals and everything is very neatly arranged. Dr. Swindrake, is there a certain beauty in death? And if so, what do you see that confirms that?
There absolutely is. The beauty that Dr. Swindrake sees in death is the arresting of a perfect organic machine. And by observing how death comes about carefully, she gains insight into that organic mechanism.
That's a very good answer. As you move in, you see one balding, sweaty young man in a dingy white coat standing over a body, performing an autopsy. And just for vibes, I think there's also it's maybe a bit early for gramophones, but there's no gramophone blaring, but he's whistling a song. Yes, he's whistling a song. And he is whistling a melody that you recognize, and that is the melody of that poor old Sally trapped in a fire, her locks burned up without a trace. If you're lovely with fate most dire, she'll come and take your lovely face. Like that song, he's whispering that. And doesn't seem to notice you because he's very involved with his work. And also, he's having his back towards you. How do you approach the mortician?
I think she floats across the stone floor silently and takes up a position directly behind him to one side, looking like around his shoulder into the body. And that, and does one of these looking down and, and then makes like a medical observation. Do you see, the spleen's been perforated, I see. You know what that means? Probably startling the man, but.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he startles, but you recognize that his hands stay remarkably still. Like he doesn't jump, but he like gives a little but his hand, the right hand holding a scalpel, the left hand like pulling away a fold of skin with a like some metal tool, they stay exactly in place. And he looks at you and says, yes, that is correct. I have the pleasure meeting here. Sorry, who are you? What are you doing in my mortuary?
Well, my name is Eleanor Swindrake, Dr. Eleanor Swindrake. I've done work with the Scotland Yard or the police or whatever.
When do you think
I work with... I'm sorry, what?
I was just wondering, do you think that Dr. Swindrake has published work? Is she a known face, or is she more of a dilettante?
I think she is. No, I think she is perhaps an idiosyncratic, like an eccentric, Victor Frankenstein before he's entirely run out. My methods may be unusual, but the results speak for themselves, that sort of vibe. And so she's known, as a bit ghoulish, perhaps, person who likes to perform experimental autopsies and talks about the ways, has published on things like the ways in which necrosis can be tracked over time to determine time of death and that sort of research, you might say.
Yeah, so you are a published researcher, and Mr. Jacobson here might have heard of you. That's what I'm getting at.
I would guess that coroners or more morticians who work with bodies they come from crime scenes probably would, because of my night work move. I do that. I work for Scotland Yard examining corpses. So,
but also it sounds like you are creating the kind of scientific knowledge that is practically useful to a person like Mr. Jacobson.
That's the hope.
So you might have read your name under a paper or two. So he says, "Oh, the Dr. Swindrake of facial plasticity in the how do I say? Facial plasticity in the wake of I don't know, anything." He rattles down a title. I can't come up with one right now. I've read your work. It is remarkable. You should know that you are doing quite a service to us, flesh workers here at the front, if I may say so.
I'm delighted to hear that. I find that the study of the dead is nearly as important, in some ways more so, than the study of the living, because after all, so many people turn away in fear and ignorance from the dead.
Yes, and there's so much to learn.
This body, for example, and she gestures. Yes. She's like, "This tells a story, right?" And she says, "Man."
Of course, yes.
And so then she reaches in and is like, using the tools and manipulating, and she begins to like narrate what she's learning from this random corpse. I'm assuming this isn't one of the victims, but she's just doing this to show off / connect with this person in a kind of professorial way, like she's about, like as if she were in a medical theater and this person was a student. But then she pulls back and says, "But of course, I'm sure you are no aware of all this. I should probably discuss what has brought me here, if I may."
Yes.
I was hoping to examine the recent victims, Clara Yarborough, Edward Clive, and Dolly Merriweather. Similar causes of death, similar lacerations and facial trauma. I would like to study that.
Yes. Certainly the what the press is calling the Sally No Face murders. Yes. Oh, you're lucky that you showed up in time. They're still here, and he takes you downstairs, like one flight of stairs, to the cooling room, so to speak. And cooling, as you can imagine, at this time still works mainly with natural cooling and imported ice. So bodies can't be held for forever. But those three are still here. And I would say without much further ado, why don't you do a information move? Because that is what you're here for after all, aren't you? With reason.
Yeah, which dies up.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is going to be, let me go back to my sheet. Reason, yeah. So
+2.
36 plus 2. Boom, boom, boom. And there we go. 7.
7. A 7 on information move is you find a clue, but there's a complication. Either with the clue itself, a complication you encounter while searching, and I will tell you what the complication is. Do you want to accept that, or do you want to put on a mask to bump it up?
Oh, it's early days in this mission, in this session. Let's get some complications on the table.
Sure, absolutely. So the clue that you find is that there are two, let's say, what are the names again? Let's say Clara Yarbrough and Dolly Merriweather. If you look at them, the surgery work along their faces it would be an understatement to call it impeccable. It is of the highest class, like somebody with extraordinarily steady hands, almost, it seems, instinctual knowledge of where the blood vessels in the skin are, with amazing tools like a scalpel of that sharpness that can create clean cuts like that. So what I'm saying is a surgeon of the highest caliber worked on these faces, removing them. And but that is not the clue. The clue is, as you examine the bodies, you find that they are a bit older. So there's a bit of blood settling that has set in. So a lesser surgeon than you would probably not have noticed it, but you do notice that there is, the black veins is probably not what you see anymore, but let's say there is damage along the veins and arteries that looks like some sort of poison has been running through these veins and arteries.
Okay.
So let's change it from blackened veins to damage in veins and arteries, indicating the presence of poison.
One that paralyzes so that the work can be done more easily.
Would stand to reason, yes. And as to your complication, because today is Sunday, I'm going to give you a second clue. And the second clue is that the third victim, that is Mr. Clive, is an altogether different kind of work. Also the face removed, but in a very grisly, imprecise fashion. Like even Pike would probably recognize that is not the same handiwork. But to your trained eyes, like, this looks like a butcher's work. So the clue is a new victim, or I guess a already established victim. Let's say Clive's face was removed in a grisly, imprecise fashion. And now, how does that make you feel?
Say that Eleanor is first in medical mode, right? So she's investigating and she's looking, oh yes, very interesting. The precision here is remarkable. Quite, in other context, I would say commendable, blah, 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 blah. And then when it turns to Edward Clive, she says, oh my, well, this is clearly the work of, what is this, a copycat perhaps? Some underling? This is a hatchet job. I would fail as a medical student for doing this sort of surgical work on a cadaver. And then she begins to again point it out, but then afterwards she steps back after having done her little didactic moment and says, but that means there's two killers. That complicates things. And so she feels trepidation and concern that this will spread, that there's now two serial killers cutting faces off, and she already can handle examining the dead bodies, but catching the living murderers has proven much more difficult. So she's very concerned.
So let's note down trepidation. And because I gave you two clues, I also will give you two conditions. And the other one is the second best surgeon of London.
You mean I am?
Yes, you are. If you're honest to yourself after seeing that work.
That's going to be eating at her. And that is all
I
the more
wouldn't.
reason.
I wouldn't believe such slander, Madam Doctor.
That's whoops. Well, that's all the more reason to bring in this person and have a conversation with them and also maybe exchange. I would love a lab assistant, just for example.
Mr. Pike, what are you doing with the rest of your day? And keep
I
in
think
mind,
I owe you
you two
a
guys.
day move.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Let's just do it. What are you afraid of in that situation of standing there, seeing that a surgical gown, waiting for the tailor to come back and finish his work?
I'm afraid my good pal Clemenza is not as loyal to Pike as he seems.
That's very good. Well then, I wonder what is a good ability for that might be for the day move. Let's go with presence. No, sorry. No, let's go with composure.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like I'm thinking in the direction of if you're right and he is not as loyal as you think, he will come back with, I don't know, support. There will be an ambush or something.
Okay.
And I thought like presence as in presence of mind, but that's not what presence is in this game. That's composure.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that's going to help me. Could I argue with you about using? No, I don't have a good argument. So it'll be 2d6 plus 1 for
which is not all that
composure.
bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. I just
unless you roll
an 8.
Okay. 8 on the day move. That is, the keeper will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. If you go through with it, the keeper describes what it looks like. Yeah, that is a problem. We should have made the day move first before we do the vulnerable move, because now I have to tell you how it leaves you vulnerable. And we haven't really established stakes, or let's say the stakes that we have established don't work anymore because the move that we were supposed to do afterward already has happened.
Sure. Could we say someone else was someone else is in the shop and has like overheard us? That I had just like missed when I came in, or like I'm trying to think of a way to like honor the fiction that we've already established, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
I would say we just chalk that up as a learning opportunity, because the problem is if we establish something retroactively now, there is still this is the main point of the day move is that I threaten you with something, and then you can decide whether or not you want to see it through or not.
Sure.
But whatever I would threaten you with now has already happened. So the choice is not on your side anymore anyway. And that is the whole thing about the day move. This, okay, am I going to take this or not? But you've already taken it.
Yeah. I think you're right. Sorry. I think I did this.
Yeah.
I think we ran out of order the last time we did this as well. So
I'm gonna
remember for sure when
we both forgot it, and in this case, it just doesn't make any mechanical sense to like do it.
Okay.
Other than that, we like establish some possible fiction that we can come back to later. That the tailor might not be entirely your friend.
Awesome. That works. Cool. Thank you.
What are you planning to do with the rest of your day?
Oh, good question.
Again, you two darlings still have a vulnerable move that you can do among the two of you.
True.
Like 2 even, technically speaking.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I'm here, right? So I think, and our tailor kind of pointed it out as well. I might go. Poke around the house that has recently been occupied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be 18 St. James Street.
Yes.
How do you want to poke around? Like, do you want to ring the front door, or I don't know, climb into the garden, or what is it?
I think ring the front door, I think is the approach today. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you ring the front door, and a square-framed, jowly woman of middle age, smelling of onion tobacco, opens the door and sees you in your like I assume you dress. How did you dress? How are you dressed today, by the way?
Sorry, yeah, I guess, yeah,
That
the
is
detail there.
relevant
So I
now.
think, yeah, I think Pike, when he leaves the tailors, we see him like unlock the front door. Um, let's see, no, actually, he'll go out the front door. Yeah, yeah. So, whatever he has been fitted for or purchased, is staying here, and he'll be back for it. And so he leaves through the front door, dressed exactly the way he always has been, in that sort of like uh, drab, like rough, nice clothing or whatever, right? That, but not the finery he's been fitted for sure. Yeah, so just looks like normal Pike.
Okay, so the way you are dressed, the lady that's opening the door can kind of assume that you are what you are, a butler.
Yeah.
Which puts you way above, or probably not way above, but above her in the pecking order of a household. If not that much, actually, because she's a cook. The cooks are also quite the high station. But she opens the door and says, yes, sir. How can I help?
Yeah, would like to speak to the man of the house, if possible.
Yes. Oh, by the way, it's the Buckley house. I just now found it in the description of
Buckley. Okay,
of the
yes.
cook.
Yeah, okay.
She
Or then I guess if that's the case, then I think Pike might take that route in, and say like, is Mr. Buckley at home?
Oh, that's great. She looks at you and she says, Mr. Buckley, Buckley's left quite some time ago. Must be up to 10 years now. So I'm afraid no, he's not in.
Oh, I apologize. I admittedly have not been back to this neighborhood in quite some time.
Sorry, no, wait a second. Let me retract that. That doesn't work. They haven't been living here for 10 years on their own, the wait staff. So I guess the Buckleys left quite recently. So no, the Buckleys don't live here anymore. So no, I'm afraid Mr. Buckley is not around. If you would like to talk to Mr. Beale, I could inquire.
Oh, that would be very kind of you. If you would, please.
Right away. And how jolly is she? Will she close the door in front of you? No. She asks you to come in and wait in the salon and on the front room. And as she bids you in and shows you a seat in a small library where you can wait, what in this room indicates that the Beals are living far above their station? The text says a little bit, but I'm not sure that the writer knew like what a prestigious address St. James Street is.
Sure, gotcha. Yeah, I think. Yes. There is in the front hallway. There is like an umbrella stand, but everything in it is like worn and beaten, and like there's a cane in there, but it's just a plain like wooden cane, and there's an umbrella in there, but there's like obviously a big hole in the side of the umbrella. But the umbrella stand itself is like really, really nice, like it came with the house, or that sort of thing, right? Yeah, I think that's it.
Yes, cool. So while you're sitting there and waiting, let's check in with Doctor Swindrake. What are you doing after your visit at the morgue?
I think
Assuming you're finished there.
Yeah, no, I did my examination. I got my little clue about the faces. And two, in fact, is very whatever kind of you. So I think maybe she will
just to quickly interject to remind you of the mechanic behind conditions. You have 3 conditions. If you get any more conditions, you will need to put on masks.
Yes.
Every time you get a condition, while you have 3 already.
So I was that's what I was looking at. So the move, so I think what I would do is I would, am I also right in thinking that moves I can do a vulnerable move, which is to just engage in my vice.
Hmm.
And it has to be with another hunter. It can't be with an
No, it
NPC.
doesn't have to be. It can also be with a side character, but that
Okay,
then would trigger the day or night move, depending
Dave.
on how dangerous the side character is.
Right. Well, I was
Um,
thinking of Fanny, like getting coffee with Fanny,
oh, that is
or
not a problem at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
making coffee for Fanny, having her over and making coffee. This would kind of, because, she's like, I'm upset, I'm feeling overwhelmed. And so she's going to turn, Mix Latimer was right, that this is a good way to get the mind in clear, form to remove
Hmm.
these stressors that the nervous system can feel overwhelmed by. So we soothe the body in order to soothe the nervous system to clear the mind.
Yeah,
And
very
so
good.
that, yeah, so that she makes a call on Fanny and
Eh,
invites her
Oh, that's
to
nice.
coffee.
And since one outcome of the vulnerable move is also that clue that you build together, Casey, how would you feel about playing Fanny in that scene? And that you can work on the clue together.
Sure. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That works. Yeah.
Is Fanny still in Hargrave House?
Oh, I mean, I think Dr. Swindrake would be with that. I don't know how
Yeah.
she'd feel about it. If
Oh,
she's like, yeah, sure, I'm
she's happy. Like if she has a warm place to stay and like particularly now with all of you out of the house, she's probably just like napping on the couch.
Mm.
Um, and I'm gonna set it up in one interesting way. As you come in, Dr. Swinrake, you find Fanny standing in your laboratory, um, and she is wiping away the blood of the constable. Constable's still in the corner. She is not brawn enough to move him, but at least she's like kind of earning a keep and cleaning up. Um,
I went at
this
a
is where
loss
I
to,
leave you to the scene.
yeah. Oh, my Fanny, thank you so much. I would never have asked you to engage in such work. I know that most people find it distasteful. I mean, myself as a medical professional, I have grown inured to it. But please, so thank you. I would hope you aren't upset by seeing such things.
No, not at all. The things you see in the London streets are sometimes just as gruesome.
Well, I am sorry for that, but I welcome and appreciate your resilience. But we can't work all the time, can we? I was wondering if you would like to join me. I take a beverage, coffee, instead of tea in the afternoon. I don't know if you fancy a cup?
Absolutely. Uh, afternoon afternoon stimulation is an exciting prospect.
Oh, Dr. Swindry gets flustered for a moment by a possible double entendre. She's not sure. And she says, oh, yes, right this way, and I'll show you. I have there is a small coffee vestibule I have down here. And so she goes over because, come on, she's civilized. She's got her dead bodies, but over there on the counter is her making equipment. So she's got like a Bunsen burner with water in a beaker, and then she's got like like some sort of sealed with a big rubber stopper filled with ground coffee, and she measures it all out as if she were doing some sort of alchemical thing, and takes the water off the fire and pours it, so on and so forth. And after a few minutes, she presents a small demi-tasse, a very delicate and expensive bit of china with the coffee in it, to Fanny, and says, "No, some folks take sugar and milk. I myself prefer it. I like it the way it comes."
Any way you like it is just fine for me. Thanks.
As you're
Again,
sitting
she's
there,
like gasping for a moment. She goes, "Yes, very, very well. I do need this." And she sits down. There's a little stool, two stools, let's say, and she sips for a while. Yeah. Is there? I mean, I don't know quite what else is. Let me look if there's something else I should be doing besides just indulging in my vice
yeah, you're
for a
indulging in your
moment.
vice. Then, since you're doing it with a side character, you need to tell us what you are afraid will happen as you open up to that rando essentially.
Right.
And then you two can create a clue together, and you can you can speak about the past and also clear a condition.
Very well. So I think that she's thinking, and her mind is racing as she thinks about what she saw at the mortuary today. And she just is afraid that Fanny will be disgusted, or that Fanny will be offended somehow by Swindrake's not only discussion of dead bodies with such callous casualness, but also her arrogance, because she's going to talk a little bit about how it's upsetting to find that she is not, in fact, the best surgeon in London.
Hmm.
And so that is what she will try to do. Now, should I roll a day move to do this, or do we
Yes,
just
you should.
describe it?
You should. And I
Okay.
think, and I'm not entirely sure which ability to use there. But if I heard that correctly, what you're afraid of is that she will be disgusted and like you a bit less, right? Is that it?
I think that's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that is presence or possibly composure, is what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And I would go like I would think presence it would be more the case if you were trying
Yep.
to convince her of something. And maybe that is actually the case. You convince her that you're not a weirdo, right?
I was thinking more of acknowledging she's a weirdo and not losing her nerve, but I think we can do that. Let's
Or
let's
the
roll
other way.
presence.
That works too. But
Let's just roll presence. Let's see if I'll press my luck. I can always put on a
hmm.
mask if I must. So here we go. 2d6 without any pluses. I'll need to put on a mask. I rolled a 5. That plus 1 wouldn't
Oh
have
yeah.
mattered anyway. So in order to do this, I'll need to put on a mask. And also okay, let's do that first. So the mask of the past, I'm going to narrate a flashback to the happiest day I shared with the person I lost.
Mhm.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I think it was Charlotte, I believe.
Yes.
And so Charlotte and Eleanor were at the spent a day out on the town. They went to the museum. They had tea, listening to chamber orchestra. They went to a delicate dinner, and attended the theater, and then spent late in the evening at a coffee house listening to the poets reading, contemporary poetry before returning home to Eleanor's apartment, let's say, and spending the evening alone with each other after that. And it was
Hmm.
in Eleanor's mind as she lay there, drifting into sleep just before the dawn church bells rang, that it was, in fact, the most perfect day. Not only that she had experienced, but that it was the platonic ideal of good days. There
Hmm.
were no days that anyone had ever had that could surpass it. And she looked over and knew that it could only have happened with Charlotte. No one else could have done such a thing, made such a perfect experience.
Mm, that's nice. And with that memory still on your mind, we've bumped it up to a 7 to 9, where I will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. If you go through with it, the keeper describes what it looks like. You tell her all that you wanted to tell her, and maybe before you stop yourself, you also tell her that story of Charlotte, and she looks at you, and the way she looks at you makes it a bit unclear what her next words will be. She has this indeterminate tension in her body that could lead to her bursting out in mocking laughter, but also could lead to her reaching out to you and trying to comfort you. And I will leave it to you which one would be worse.
Yeah.
But I do notice that did you secretly engage romantic or emotional behavior at odds with your aloof logical exterior as your dawn question, as a little hint to Casey, who's still playing her. So if you want to, like, now would be the time to pull back and laugh it off, or go through it and see where Casey's taking it.
Well, I mean, I'll let Casey, you can play Fanny however you like, but I think that Eleanor will start shaking, right? She's like, this is afraid, this is fear, this causes her fear, this scares her, not dead body, not vampire, emotional vulnerability. And so she is shaking like a young woman, like many of her medical students react when they see their first, right? But for her, it's something else. This is the first time she's made herself vulnerable like this since Charlotte. So she's afraid, but she knows what that she has to, if only to honor the memory of Charlotte that she just shared. So she holds Fanny's gaze. She doesn't turn away.
Yeah, without breaking your gaze, Fanny will like reach out for one of your hands and just like rest her hand on top of it.
And
Fear
Eleanor
is
smiles. Yeah, go ahead.
fear is ugly on you and unnecessary. Your past is beautiful, and so will be your future.
Very nice. What condition would you like to get rid of? I think marked by the Limehouse Lurker doesn't make any sense anymore, right?
Yeah, so I mean, technically, I talked about being the second best surgeon in London, and I displayed trepidation, but just for the logic, I think let's get rid of that
I mean,
one.
you can also keep it on.
I mean, it could have. Yeah, no, let's go ahead and take it off. And these
I
other
mean,
two are more
the
relevant.
Lurker could still reach you from the beyond the grave if you want that.
Yeah, I'm good. I took it off.
Okay. Very good.
And then we have to fashion a clue.
Yes.
Ooh.
I think, tell me what you think about this, Casey. I think that out of this emotional scene that Eleanor has with Fanny, and however it resolves, I think that later, when considering her day, she realizes that a surgeon of such precision is likely a person unable to, or at least unwilling or unlikely to have close relations, emotional, social, human relations. And so most likely is an isolated person or a hermit or someone in hiding. That might have messed up the story, but I think, maybe that's the clue. She concludes that, this takes time and it takes isolation and it takes patience and this had to have been done by someone in a place where they were away from it all.
Yeah, I like that, especially with like the Dapper Boy and everything going on there. Like, I feel like a lot of this is like some hidden person using little minions, and I like that. I like that. Like,
Are you suggesting there's a mastermind behind all this?
What?
Perfect.
Then I'll note down this kind of work needs isolation and time.
Wow, we have quite a few clues now for Sally No Face 7.
ooh,
I know, we might want to answer a question soon.
Just wondering if that is. I mean, usually clues are more like things or events. What you have is more a conclusion than a clue.
Perhaps that the surgical work used to remove the face is time consuming. I mean, I don't know, that's kind of the same thing.
No, I think
Or
that
how
works.
about-
That works as a clue.
Okay, I can restate it. But...
Yeah, but now it is something more tenable and something that could also be interpreted in other ways. The surgical work displayed on the victims takes time. I think that works.
Cool.
Like in S, that is an information that does not preclude the answering the question move.
gotcha. I see.
Yes, okay. Cool. Let's go back to we still have 20 to 30 minutes left. Let's go back to Mr. Pike once more.
Question before we move on is, I know that the factotum and his employer can do an additional vulnerable scene with each other, right? Is that something that would also happen during the day move if we did choose to do that anytime?
So you can. So there are 3 rules in play here. One is that everyone can have one vulnerable move per phase. So one in the day phase, one in the night phase.
Okay, and we both had one.
So, and then the employer move of the factotum says you and your employer can trigger the vulnerable move twice per phase, but only if at least one of those times is with each other and no one else. So you two could have one.
Right.
If you want. So what we could do if that's what you want to do is maybe have one more scene with Mr. Pike at the house, and then you meet in the evening at Hargrave House or at a pub or wherever and have your second vulnerable move. If that is what you want to do. Yeah? Okay, then back to the house. You wait there for a moment and then who comes? I think I think I will have you. I mean, no, you specifically asked for Mr. Beale. Here it even says when they moved in a year ago. And he comes down the stairs after he's being called by the cook. And also that is the thing that Mr. Pike that you just noticed that I will give you for free. That it is quite unlikely that the cook opens the door. Like it would be the butler. It would maybe be the I want to say the madam, but it's not what they're called, the matron, like the female equivalent to the butler, or likely would be a housekeeper, yeah, or it would be a footman, something, but not the cook. So that kind of tells you that they probably don't have a butler.
Gotcha.
Or footmen or anything.
Mhm.
She lets you sit there, and after a while, a young man, maybe in his mid-20s, with a like patchy beard and a probably well fixed but fixed suit comes in. Also, it's your trained eye as a butler. You see that it has been repaired. Probably by a competent seamstress. But if you know what to look for, you can see it. He sits down opposite you, and maybe on the way down, before he comes down the stairs, you kind of hear him go, "Irma, bring coffee and brandy, please, for the guest and me. No, let's make it only for the guest. No, let's make it for the guest and me." And she's like, "Okay, sir." And he sits down and he looks quite nervous. And sir, you were asking for the head of the house. That would be me, Harold Beale. Lovely to make your acquaintance. Who do I have the honor to meet?
I'm Mr. Pike, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you. I knew the Buckleys when they lived here. And, after seeing the article in the police news, I was concerned. I hadn't heard from them in quite some time, so I came to check on them. And well, I find you here. How are you finding the house? How are you getting on? Is everything okay?
Oh yeah, everything is splendid. We moved in here not long ago, maybe a year, and just splendid. Yes, I can't complain really. But I appreciate that you are inquiring. Are you from one of the neighbors' houses?
I grew up near here. I live across town now. My employer, the illustrious Dr. Madam Swindrake, conducts her business in other parts of London. It must be attended.
Yes, Dr. Swindrake, of course. And his smile tells you he has no idea who you're talking about. Yes, and then Irma comes down with a cup of tea. Like a cat. It's Kanne in German. What's it? Like the big ones. Where you pour the cup from.
Like
it's not can. A teapot,
Tea
yes. Teapot on a silver tablet. Probably not tablet, platter, and is like putting it down in front of you. Also, as you noticed, she is no butler. Like there is no grace in her movements as it comes to that. She has not learned that. Beale says, "Thank you, Irma." Irma moves away. And why don't you give me a information move with sensitivity?
Oh, awesome. Ooh, it's a 12.
Well, a 12? A 12? Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, information move with a 12. You also find a mastermind clue. Let's deal with a normal clue first, though. As you sit there, and there's a little bit of maybe awkward silence between the two of you, you notice from the perspective, from the place that you sit in, that oh no, that's a good one because it's nice and dramatic for the first clue. Irma's gone away, and you like drink your tea, and it's it's okay. It's not the best one you ever had, but it's nice. And at some point, you have emptied your cup, and Beale is just without even asking, reaching for the teapot and is refilling your cup, and out of the teapot comes thick blood that pours into your cup. It's the same teapot that Irma poured the tea from a few minutes ago, and now it is blood in there. And that is the clue here. And as he pours it, he doesn't seem to notice it, actually. And he pours it for himself and is drinking a mouthful, and you see the red that is staining his teeth. But he does not seem to notice, or if he notices it, does not seem to be weird to him.
What happens if Mr. Pike pours himself a cup of tea?
It's also what happens. That's interesting.
I'm also always happy for the answer to be like, I just wanted a weird, creepy clue, Casey. Don't investigate farther.
No. I was trying to make it creepier and tying it to you specifically. And yeah. Let me tell you something about your past, if that's okay. It is winter. It is the Crimea War. And you and your men are sitting on a hill. It is morning. It is the morning before a battle. Maybe the one where you lost quite a few troops. Maybe the one that that gave you your tremor. But that is your memory. So who am I to say? I'm just speculating. But in that memory, you also reach for. Like, I would imagine the British actually were stiff and decorum oriented enough, at least officers like you would have actual teapots like in the field, and you're pouring it, and you must have, I don't know, kept it out of your eyesight for too long. Anyway, as you're pouring the tea, with the tea comes quite a few like dead bugs and spiders, and maybe even a centipede that must have drowned in your cup somewhere between when you boiled it 5 minutes ago and now that you're pouring it. I don't know how that happens. That's very, very odd, obviously. And you look at it, and it's your memory. What did you do with the tea? Did you proceed to drink it? Did you pour it out? What kind of how stiff is your upper lip?
Yeah, I think we see Pike look into the cup and fish out and then
yeah. And you feel you are reminded of that moment as exactly that happens here as well. As you pour it, it's not blood anymore, but it comes with all kinds of bugs. And again, Beale does not seem to notice.
I think Mr. Pike looks into the cup and we see the flashback and the come to reality of the camera focusing on the top of the tea and seeing his reflection there, and he sets it down on the table and says to Mr. Buckley or Mr. Beale, it seems you have a problem of a supernatural nature that is quite serious and demands attention.
What makes you think that?
Well, beyond the most obvious evidence, what do you see if you look into your cup of tea?
Tea? Anyway, you say you want to help us with what is it exactly, and more importantly, will it cost us?
Oh, my time here will not cost you anything at all. In fact, if you allow me to perhaps explore your house a little bit, I might even find my way into and does the thing where he looks around the room and looks at the tea set and looks at it. It's perhaps something, a donation of my own could help you.
Oh, I would be most grateful, sir.
Indeed.
Yes. So I am afraid I have to go back to my work now. Why don't you come back in the morning? Talk to my wife and to our cook, and I'm sure they will be able to help us, so to speak. And he stands up and extends his hand and says, "It was a pleasure, Mr. Pike. Thank you for your help in advance."
Indeed. Thank you for the tea. And he'll shake his hand and leave.
Yes. And then he will go back to the staircase and kind of like awkwardly wait for you to leave. Like not really clear how to do that in the proper polite way. And you meet back in the evening at Hargrave House for a intimate scene. And while you do that, I'm looking up what mastermind clue I will give you.
Awesome.
I imagine that perhaps Mr. Pike and Dr. Swinburne find themselves meeting in a place they commonly do meet, like a sitting room where he often smokes cigars and she often sips coffee, like off of the main hallway with an adjoining door to the like dining room kitchen area, so that we can come and go and get my coffee and so on. So I'm sitting in there and sipping with a book, open with holding it with one hand, setting it down and turning the page, and there's like a side table. And when you walk in, it looks up and goes, "Oh, Mr. Pike, please. Have you had a productive day? I hope."
Sorry, my headphones are fucked up.
Well,
I think I'm good. Hello.
yep.
Yes, you're great.
Okay.
Did you hear me? Do I need to repeat that or?
Yes, productive day. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
It was indeed. I managed to visit the Beals house and take care of a few personal matters that were pressing. You seem a bit more relaxed than you have been recently. Is it simply that we got rid of William, or did you find?
Well, I've been practicing new methods to focus the mind and relax the body. Some techniques, let's say methods, presented to me by Mix Latimer. They were quite insightful in identifying ways in which I might meet those. Well, I'll just leave it at that for now.
Yes, I understand.
And have you addressed the personal concerns that took you away from your duties today?
I have. There has been. Have you ever known someone who left such an impression on you? Do you sometimes think you see them? There's people I can't forget, and there's people that won't let me forget them.
So yeah, Dr. Swinbrake's face, Swinburne's face goes kind of pale. And she says, there is a person that I see every day. Perhaps I catch a glimpse of them in the crowd on the street. I look, and even though every time I know before I look that it isn't her. Sometimes I think I catch snatches of her voice outside of my window when passers-by are speaking. I know it isn't. It could not be she, and yet I look. She reminds me of the inevitability of mortality, and that is something I fight against in my research.
Hope is a dangerous ally.
So can be memory.
I think in the television program, we get the audio only flashback to the sounds of war briefly in Pike's brain.
Nice. Yeah. The wistful look on Eleanor's face, combined with a kind of complicated guilt. Not just because her loved one died, but because she is now, for the first time, allowing herself the pleasure of someone else's company, in the way that she had with Charlotte. So, of course, she feels guilty. And yet, Mix Latimer was right, as they always are.
Yes, I'm finding him to be interestingly correct.
Well, don't let them know. It will go to their head.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Nice.
Excellent. Anything else? We good?
Oh no, I like that.
Yeah, I just need a clue from you, and there's conditions to be cleared.
So let's see.
Crazy how you can just like invent clues like that, like at that rate.
Well, maybe this one should be. Should we do one for the horde then, instead of one for, or perhaps one for the ghost? Perhaps we say something like Eleanor and Pike realize strong enough memory, so maybe ghosts are tied to strong memory.
Yeah.
To What do
It
you
is
think?
again. It's a conclusion, not a clue.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, you're right. Well, let me look. I'm reading the little bit on the James Street Ghost. Obviously, Casey, feel free to just come up with one.
I wonder.
So one clue. Let me just quickly check if we noted that down.
Ooh, do we want? Could it be the? Sorry. I nope. I was just gonna redo the clue we just got for this mystery. I was like, oh, the coffee turns to blood, but like that just happened.
Yeah, but related to that, I mean, it's also a conclusion in a way. But I couldn't help but notice because I put it there that your vision drew from your own subconscious. I wonder if that is not conclusion enough. And I think that would be okay if you can't think of anything better.
Oh, yeah, I guess I don't follow what the clue would be then. Could you just state the clue?
The clue would be that the St. James Street Ghost draws from your subconscious, or like,
Yes. Okay.
That it doesn't have its own like palette of horrors, but it can also kind of read your mind or the deeper layers of your mind.
Spooky.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely spooky.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then let's make it a bit less clear. Let's say a horror conjured from Mr. Pike's past. I think that kind of expresses that the ghost is not just relying on whatever itself can come up with, so to speak.
I think that's interesting.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely.
Okay, cool. And then Miss Swindrake, you still can clear a condition, I think.
Yes, I can. All right, excellent. And I shall clear.
Yep, both of you can, but only one of you has one. Or
trepidation, I suppose.
Yeah, I would say so too, right? Makes sense.
Nice.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
And with that, we're almost through for today. There's only one thing that I owe you, and that is the mastermind clue. Although I'm wondering if I want to keep that in my back pocket. No, I don't. I have two that I can think of, but I think I will take the less bizarre one. And that is, let's go back to the talk between Mr. Pike and so many sheets. Mr. Pike and Mr.
Sure.
Clemenza.
Oh.
As you're talking, I can just like weave two things in. Nice. As you're talking, that's a brilliant lead in actually. Remember when we were talking, you both kind of complained about how the business isn't going that great lately, and then Clemenza says, between the two of us, Mr. Pike, I'm just, wouldn't it be fun if he called you by your first name?
It would if I had one. But insert first name works. Yeah, I like the idea that he knows. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, wouldn't you know, John? It is. Probably it's probably not John. It's probably Jonathan. Jonathan. It is. It just so happened that I found an investor who invested in my shop, and all she wants, she says, is for the business to keep going, for the street to keep its character. It's and then you're like, oh, so who is that? And it's like, it's an amazing woman. It's an amazing woman. She has been quietly buying up large bits of a large number of businesses and other real estate in the city. It's a Miss Theodora Braithwaite. Not sure if you're familiar. And then he, like, in this Tony sometimes has when he can't stop himself from gossiping after all. He's like, I heard she used to have a thing. But I don't have that from me. So the clue is, the mastermind clue is that Miss Braithwaite's, I guess it doesn't figure that prominently in the thread. Then maybe he also let slip that she also, let's work that around. That maybe she hasn't, that she also has bought up the ghost house, and she's renting it to the Beals for a low price. And the clue is discovery that Mrs. Braithwaite owns a location that figures prominently in the thread, because I just thought the tailor doesn't figure that prominently, but the ghost house would. I don't mind her also having invested in the tailor, but I guess the ghost house is the proper clue. The discovery that Mrs. Braithwaite owns. What's the address again? 18 St. James Street. 18 St. James Street. And many businesses in the city. And then following that retroactive thread pull, obviously you already went into the house with that knowledge, but were too shrewd to put it on the table.
Sure.
But that the man of the house is just a renter, which is not the done thing around here.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, and I also revealed, just to make it clear, we are in layer 2 of the mastermind thread, and there are these 4 bits of gossip that I have to reveal in some point. And I just revealed the second one, which in the text is Mrs. Braithwaite. Braithwaite arrives in London in 1844. At age 26, she goes on a buying spree, snapping up real estate and businesses that will later be the foundation of a vast fortune. She is the toast of London, and scandalous rumors suggest that young Queen Victoria has taken her as a lover. And information to that effect is what he reveals to you. Okay, cool. That was it for today. Stars and wishes, my dearies.
Yeah. All kinds of stars. Like I started writing down stars for the narration of William's death, Gwen, and then I stopped because I just kept writing everything that you were saying. But I loved the freezing him and him looking around frantically. Great. Chopping his head off and having his mouth and eyes keep moving. Awesome. The way that you said I carry this out like a master surgeon or butcher. And then we saw that same comparison get back with Sally No Face and the victims as well. That was really cool. Dominic for being Casey, you should play Fanny. Me, I love an ensemble cast, right? So,
me too.
That was cool. That was a lot of fun to step in there and kind of play a different role up against the Doctor, which was nice. And that scene rips as well, Gwen. I think that's it, maybe. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I liked it. I really I was talking with Dominic about how using the day questions or whatever. Dawn questions to drive what you want to do instead of being maybe it'll happen, I'll just vibe it out, and so doing that and being met responsively and generously. I loved your Clemenza, Dominic. It's cool to be able to set the scene and then kind of with an idea and then play to find out a little bit of what's going on there. I love the flashback of the war as well, Dominic. So yeah. Awesome time. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Yeah, my star for Casey, for just your boldness in doing the thing with the going to the tailor, and also to play basically mirroring everything you just said, just stepping in and playing Fanny, and also allowing me to establish your first name, establish a bit of your past, which is absolutely not my job and not my purview, but and I would have understood if you had said no, but you didn't, and thank you for that. Star for Gwen for like also like leading these two emotional scenes at the end. That was a really like I think that tickles me on a ludomechanical level. That there, I don't know. I want to say that there wasn't terribly much to do. I'm not sure about that. I'm sure you could have come up with other stuff, but that was like kind of the slots were still there for the vulnerable moves, and you just went out and did it. And that was really nice. And also, it's always good to do this, like establishing the past of the character thing. That is, I think, what the game lives off, and I'm always appreciative when players do that. That was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I echo what you two have said. I mean, what just in like reverse chronologically through the game, I loved the question that Pike that you asked Casey to start that last vulnerable scene about like, have you ever like seen someone in the past that made
Yes.
such an impact on you? I mean, that was just such a great setup, and I knew because I had listened, observed the scene before where there was echoes of the war there, and and so I'm thinking like, oh, this is obviously like for Casey. Or I'm sorry, not for Casey. I hope not. For Pike, this is like the trauma of the war. But the same question applies to Eleanor for her lost love. And so that was a really neat, like, these two people stuck in their past traumas sitting together,
Yes.
kind of in that was just a really neat moment. And thank you for setting that up. That was a great character moment for us. I mean, I think it was also one of those moments where you're like, this is why these two work together. You know what I mean? Because like Eleanor is like kind of imperious and kind of pompous, rude a little bit to Pike, like she's very much like you are my employee, don't know your place. But that was a moment when that you could see how they actually kind of care for each other in a strange, sort of very restrained way. So I really appreciated that. I thought that was great. I think Dominic, related to something that you kind of implied maybe a minute ago, is I think you do a great job of like setting up a scene or just nudging a scene so that it can blossom like that, right? I mean, a lot of it, I know that some of it is implicit in the game mechanic. Okay, well, this is a thing you can do, but you facilitate in such a way that it's just really easy to do that. Like I feel like the way you present clues or describe notes of an environment or an NPC character attitude just invites all of us to greater depth, if that makes sense. Like, because this is the kind of game that, if we wanted to, we could kind of play it like it's a mystery. We're going to go investigate and ooh, spooky. But like, there's a lot of richness, not just like the tapestry of the setting and these characters, but like the human element of it can be really powerful. And I love that. And I think that's a lot, yet is a testament to your facilitation. So thank you so much for
Oh,
that.
thank you.
I mean, yeah, it's just a lot of fun, and the game I really like this.
Yeah. I always
Wishes
like
would
this.
be more.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I could play every day. Um, I always think that these games, and that might be just me, but I always like these games best when they are going in the territory of being like sad and tragic. And they're about the people. And I think in the between, it's more pronounced than maybe in any other apart from Brindlewood game or immersion mystery PBTA for that matter.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I just
mean,
want to.
go ahead.
Oh, I just was going to point out, like, you were talking about how like we were kind of like very restrained, and that feels very on point for like the tone of the genre, but also like is a really fun way of playing things. So yes, I agree, and that's a lot of fun to like have that like we're talking about it, but we're not talking about it. Like
Yes.
dynamic
Yes.
is beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I agree. And I think you're right. I mean, I was just thinking about this, Dominic, that like, yeah, it might be because so many games like this just get caught up in the like Scooby gang or like whatever, like Sherlock Holmesian nature here. But that's, you really miss like some of the gothic kind of
Yeah.
not just the spookiness, but like the kind of like the setting is like foggy and gray, but so is the emotional. And I mean that in
Yeah.
a good, it's like it just has that kind of weight to it. Like, frankly, I mean, like if another great, like, like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein or something like that is such a deeply philosophical and contemplative book. And
Yeah.
I love those notes.
Mm.
So yes, 100%.
Yeah, and it's not about the whodunit.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think about it too sometimes where like it could be super, like you said, it could be super procedural, right? Like, oh, yep, it's time to do the investigation part. Here's the Scooby Gang, like you said, like, oh, I just want to roll the information move, man, you know. But I think it's not only a credit to like how the game is structured, but also like how we're all approaching it, that we're like bringing in a lot of that depth, and yeah, it kicks ass.
Yeah. Okay. I'll stop the recording.
Okay.
Stop, he writes in the chat.